Welcome to the Futuristic Adventures story. Here you find the best HFY story written by human. Listen the story. If you like it, subscribe the channel.
Jack steps into the apartment to find Zara, his alien roommate, methodically shifting the furniture around with a perplexed grin. He asks what's the special occasion. Zara, without missing a beat, replies optimal breeding thing jackets. Crucial for my species. Jack chuckles, scratching his head. Breeding thing, I thought we were just going to order pizza tonight. Oh, we are, but I thought it might be fun to discuss our future offspring's living arrangements while we eat. Zara says with a straight face, pushing a couch with surprising ease. Jack's laughter fades into a nervous titter. Offspring. Zara, you do know humans generally discuss that kind of thing at a significantly later stage in whatever it is we're doing. Zara pauses, tilting her head. Is that so? Back home it's customary to prepare the nest before the first mating dance. Are you saying you humans do romance first? How inefficient trying to navigate this cultural minefield. Jack decides to look up human-alien relationship advice online as he scrolls through his phone. His face contorts comically with every bizarre suggestion and misleading article. According to this, I should gift you a meteorite fragment to signify my fertile intentions. Jack reads aloud, increasingly baffled. Zara bursts into laughter. Jack, that's for the Zealands. I'm a Mayan. We prefer traditional Earth gifts, you know, like chocolates or maybe a nice plant. Jack sighs in relief, then winces as he reads further. It says here some alien species consider singing as a form of courtship. Should I be serenading you? That would be lovely. Zara claps her hands excitedly, completely missing the horror on Jack's face. Jack clears his throat, his voice shaky. You know, maybe we should stick to pizza tonight and figure out the rest later. Agreed. Zara nods, still rearranging the living room with enthusiasm. But let's keep the option on the table, you know, for after dessert. As they settle down with their pizza, Jack quizzes Zara about her customs, each answer more surprising and amusing than the last, from breeding rituals involving cosmic alignments to celebrator dances that could last days. Jack finds himself in over his head but fascinated by the complexity and richness of her culture. Wait, so let me get this straight. Jack chuckles, trying to keep up on MAA. You dance for 3 days straight without sleep to impress a mate? Exactly. Zara nods. It proves stamina and commitment, plus it's a lot of fun. Jack imagines himself trying to dance for even 3 hours and whines, I think I'd collapse halfway through day 1. Zara laughs, her eyes twinkling with mischief. Don't worry, I'd catch you. Their evening of cultural exchange continues with laughter and light-hearted debates. The topic of breeding now a funny anecdote in their growing friendship. As the night winds down, Jack realizes that despite the absurdity of the situation, he's genuinely enjoying learning about the quirks of his alien roommate's world. As Jack and Zara's understanding of each other's cultures deepens, they decide to take their explorations a step further by attending a cross-species dating seminar. They sit among an eclectic mix of humans and aliens, each pair as curious and awkward as the next. The speaker, a charismatic Venusian with 3 eyes, shares tales of love that transcend planetary boundaries, his voice booming across the hall. After the seminar, Zara is brimming with excitement. Jack, we should try some of the bonding exercises they suggested, she exclaims, flipping through a holographic pamphlet. Jack, ever The sport agrees sure how about the. Staring into each other's eyes one seems. Less risky than the tentacle. Handshake they face each other trying to. Maintain serious expressions but bursts. Of laughter escape as each second passes. The exercise meant to build trust turns. Into a fit of giggles as Jack tries not. To blink against Zara's unyielding booing. Gaze okay new rule Jack breathes out. Between chuckles first one to laugh by. Dinner Zara nods determined but soon. They are both laughing harder than. Before drawing curious looks from other. Seminar attendees their next attempt at. Cultural integration involves a cooking. Class designed for human alien pairs the. Chef a renowned culinary expert from. Jupiter instructs them to prepare a dish. That is a blend of earthly spices and. Martian vegetables Jack handles the. Earth ingredients with confidence until. He gets to the Martian vegetables so do. I peel this or do we eat it like that he. Asks holding up a blue spiky vegetable. Zara shrugs I think you sing to it first. Martian vegetables taste better when. They happy Jack raises an eyebrow then. Laughs deciding to go along with it. He serenades the vegetable with a. Dramatic rendition of an old Earth. Ballad much to the amusement of their. Classmates as the class progresses they. Somehow manage to create a dish that is. Not only edible but delicious there. Combined efforts though clumsy lead to a. Creation that earns praise from the chef. This is what happens when you mix. Elements from different worlds with a. Dash of creativity and a lot of laughter. The chef announces presenting their dish. As an example to the class riding high. On their success Jack and Zara spend the. Evening strolling through a local bazaar. That caters to beings from various. Planet stands display everything from. Glowing fruits to antique star maps Zara. Is fascinated by a stand selling Earth. Memorabilia and Jack explains the. History behind each item from vinyl. Records to vintage comic books at one. Booth an alien merchant offers them a. Free sample of a drink popular in his. Sector Jack hesitates recalling the last. Time he tried an alien beverage and. Spent the night seeing in ultraviolet. But Zara Evera the adventurer takes a. Sip and nods approvingly it's like a mix. Of coffee and stardust she declares her. Eyes sparkling Jack trusting her. Judgment tries it and is pleasantly. Surprised their adventure at the bazaar. Ends with Zara purchasing a small. Glowing plant claiming it reminds her of. Jack's bright personality Jack touched. By the gesture buys her an old Earth. Compass so you'll always find your way. Back home even if it's to our crazy. Apartment they return home arms laden. With their fins laughter echoing in the. Cool night of the day's experiences have. Not only brought them closer but have. Also deepened their appreciation for. Each other's backgrounds the initial. Awkwardness has transformed into a. Genuine connection one filled with humor. And a touch of the cosmic serendipity. That brought them together as they enter. Their apartment they both feel a sense. Of anticipation for the next step in. Their interstellar cultural exchange. Jack finds himself in unfamiliar. Territory his own apartment but with a. Tension in the air has never quite felt. Before Sarah sits across from him idly. Twirling a glowing strand of her hair. Her expression unreadable ever since. They outing something between them has. Shifted it's not just the jokes the. Misunderstandings or the absurdity of. Cross-species dating seminars it's. Something deeper something real he. Exhales rubbing his temples so let me. Get this straight you're saying I've. Been sending signals. Zara tilts her head clearly amused very. Strong ones almost aggressive at first eye. Thought you were just unaware, but after that look you gave me at the bazaar, Jack blinks. What look? You know the look I don't know. Zara leans in a teasing smuck, forming the one that said I'm about to devour you with my need that one. Jack lets out a strangled laugh, half out of nervousness, half out of sheer disbelief. Zara, I was debating whether to buy a candle or an anti-gravity paper. Wait, if my face looked anything like that, it was she. Retail panic. Well, she shrugs. Either way it was effective. I'm reconsidering a few things. Jack's heart does something strange, like it short circuits, then jolts back to life. Reconsidering what exactly? Zara pauses, her fingers tapping against the table. At first I saw this as an experiment, a way to bridge the gap between our species, maybe even just curiosity, but now I don't know, Jack. Maybe you humans have something to offer. After all. Jack gulps something, as in he gestures vaguely between them. Zara grins. Romance, connection, chemistry. She leans back, stretching like a lazy feline. Or maybe it's just your smell. Your scent has been distracting me for days. My scent, Jack repeats slowly. That is both flattering and terrifying. Zara chuckles. It's a thing with my species. Once we get used to someone's scent, we start associating it with comfort, safety, attraction. She pauses. It's been happening to me, and I don't hate it. Jack opens his mouth, then closes it. He wasn't expecting this teasing. Yes, more misunderstandings, absolutely, but this sudden, unfiltered honesty. Zarai's shaking her head with a smirk. Look at you, brain buffering like a malfunctioning AI. Jack lets out a breathy laugh. I guess I didn't think you'd ever. You no, actually consider it. I figured this whole thing was just some fun alien misunderstanding. Maybe it was at first, Zara admits, but now I'm curious about something else. Jack braces himself. And what's that? Zara leans in, lowering her voice. If we did mate, would it actually work? Jack almost chokes. Excuse me, you heard me, she says, watching his reaction with poorly hidden amusement. Would it work? Would it be pleasurable? Could our biology even align properly? Or would I crush you by accident? These are serious questions, Jack. Jack runs a hand down his face. Sorry, you cannot just drop existential questions about into species bedroom logistics in casual conversation. Why not? She grins. You seem pretty invested in the topic now. Jack groans. I hate that you're making sense. She watches him for a moment, her teasing expression softening. Look, I get it. You human attach a lot of emotions to this kind of thing. It's not just biological for you, and I respect that. Jack looks up at her, surprised at the sudden shift in tone. That means a lot, actually, but she continues, voice lowering. That doesn't mean I'm not still wondering. Jack exhales, shaking his head. Zara, you are going to be the death of me. Maybe. She winks, but what a way to go. The conversation lingers between them, unspoken yet undeniable. Something has shifted. The lines between experiment, curiosity, and genuine attraction are blurring, and for the first time Jack isn't sure if he minds. Jack paces his room, running a hand through his hair, muttering under his breath, this is insane, absolutely insane. He stops, takes a deep breath, and exhales. But also kind of inevitable. Zara had left him with that maddening smirk, as if dropping an inter-species compatibility bombshell was as casual as discussing the weather, and now, no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't stop thinking about it. Not just the absurdity, not just the logistics, but the fact that some part of him, some deep, reckless pot, wanted to find out. He steels himself, marches into the living Room where Zara is lounging scrolling through an article on human courtship. Without missing a beat she says, did you know that in your ancient history humans used to woo mates by clubbing them on the head and dragging them to a cave? I can't tell if that's horrifying or effective. Jack exhales. I've made a decision. Zara Rice raises a brow. Oh, about clubbing me over the head and dragging me somewhere. Zara focus. She sits up intrigued. I'm listening. Jack rubs the back of his neck. I don't think this is just about biology anymore. Zara's expression shifts, her playful demeanor tempered by something quieter. Go on. I mean, I can't even tell when it happened, but I like you, okay? Not just in a you're my roommate and we have fun bant away, but in a you drive me crazy, but I don't he want you to go kind of way. Zara watches him unreadable for a moment, then she grins. Jack, was that a confession? Jack groans. Don't make this weirder than it already is. She hums thoughtfully. You know, in Mon culture a confession is usually followed by an offering of food, something about primal instincts demonstrating one's ability to provide. Jack gestures toward the kitchen. I have leftover pizza. Zara bursts into utter romantic. Jack sigh, rubbing his temples. You're impossible. She studies him for a moment before tilting her head. So let's say we do this. Let's say we against all odds attempt this interspecies disaster waiting to happen. Are you prepared for what that entails? Jack folds his arms. Define entails. Zara leans forward. Mon bond through scent. Remember, once we cross that line your scent will be imprinted in my mind permanently. I will know where you are always. Your presence will become as familiar to me as my own breath. It is a bond that does not fade. Jack blinks. That is a lot of pressure. Zara nods. It is, but I wouldn't have brought it up if I didn't think you could handle it. Jack swallows. And are you sure about this? Because if this is just a fun science experiment for you, I'm not signing up for that. Zara's smirk fades. Gaze suffering. Jack, if this were just an experiment I wouldn't be nervous. That surprises him. He wasn't expecting that kind of honesty, but there she is, an alien from across the stars, looking at him like he's something she doesn't quite know how to handle, and somehow that makes everything clearer. Jack exhales, steps forward and cups her face in his hands. Her skin is warm, slight sly cooler than a human's, but smooth electric beneath his touch. Then let's find out. Zara's eyes flicker with amusement and something deeper. I swear, if you pass out from sensory overload, I'm going to tell everyone. Jack laughs. Then you better make it worth it. She grins. Oh, I will. And just like that the last line between them dissolves, not to logic, not in theory, but in something real, something inevitable. Jack doesn't know what happens next, but for once he's not worried about figuring it out. He's just ready.